On the night before Thanksgiving, 1971, a man in a dark suit boarded a routine 30-minute flight from Portland to Seattle. By the time it landed, he had vanished into American legend, and the FBI still doesn't know his real name. He bought his ticket under the name Dan Cooper, seat 18C, Northwest Orient Flight 305, a Boeing 727 with 36 passengers on board. Soon after takeoff, he handed flight attendant Florence Schaffner a note. She assumed it was a phone number. It wasn't. It said he had a bomb, and he showed her a case with wires and cylinders to prove it. His demands were specific: $200,000 in unmarked $20 bills and 4 parachutes. Not 2, 4. A detail investigators have puzzled over for 50 years, since it suggested he might not be jumping alone, or simply wanted backups so he couldn't be handed rigged gear. The plane circled Puget Sound for 2 hours while Seattle police and the FBI scrambled to meet his demands. When it finally landed, Cooper let all 36 passengers go. He kept the crew, took the money and the parachutes, and ordered the plane back into the air, this time toward Mexico City, flying low and slow, landing gear down, with the rear air stair lowered. Somewhere over the dense forest of southwest Washington, in freezing rain at around 8:13 at night, the crew felt the tail of the aircraft pitch upward. Cooper was gone. He had jumped out of the back of a Boeing 727 in a business suit into the night, and he was never seen again. For 9 years the case went cold. Then, in February 1980, an 8-year-old boy digging on the banks of the Columbia River found 3 decaying bundles of cash, nearly $6,000, still bound in rubber bands, the serial numbers matching Cooper's ransom. It remains the only physical trace of the money ever found. The FBI investigated hundreds of suspects. One name kept surfacing: Richard Floyd McCoy, Jr., a pilot and Army veteran who pulled off a strikingly similar hijacking just months later, in April 1972. Agents were convinced enough that they altered photographs of McCoy to see if he matched witness descriptions of Cooper. McCoy died in 1974, shot by FBI agents after escaping federal prison, and whether he was Cooper went with him. The FBI officially suspended active investigation in 2016 after 45 years, but the file isn't closed for good. In 2026, the Bureau released a new batch of declassified documents showing Cooper understood the 727's refueling procedures well enough to correct the flight crew, and that he had inspected one of the parachutes closely, as if checking whether it had been sabotaged. 55 years later, D.B. Cooper is still the only unsolved act of air piracy in American aviation history. Somewhere, there is a name attached to seat 18C that no one has ever confirmed.